Prep sports are back. Welcome to Season 16 of Naperville Sports Weekly. Once again, I'm your host, Josiah Schuneman. I hope you all enjoyed your summer, as we're excited to bring you what should be another exciting season in high school sports. For the first show of the year, we will preview all of the fall sports to give you a glimpse of what's to come over the next several months. Let's start off on the gridiron, as Patrick Cotto takes a look at what to watch for on the football field.
We begin with last year's DVC champs, Naperville North, who took home the conference crown for the first time since 2008 after a walk-off win over Neuqua Valley and returned to the postseason for the first time since 2017. Despite a first-round playoff loss to their crosstown rivals Naperville Central, the Huskies have a lot of talent returning in 2022, including quarterback and Northwestern commit Aiden Gray, along with Swiss Army knife Luke Williams, who will play a major role on both sides of the ball after the graduation of his brother Zeke. Nate Jacobs will also get some time in the backfield, who will be taking over for former DVC Offensive Player of the Year Ethan Robert. If the Huskies want to get improved performance on the defensive side of the ball, another DVC title and the first playoff win since 2010 could be within reach. The challenge will be difficult right off the bat with a Week 1 matchup at home against home at Flossmoor. Up next is the area team who made its deepest playoff run since 2013, Neuqua Valley. After a 10-2 season, the Wildcats are looking to put behind last season's heartbreaking 14-13 loss to Maine South and keep their foot on the gas pedal heading into this fall. Even though the Blue and Gold lose many pieces on offense and defense, they return a key commander in quarterback Mark Meneke, who enters his third season as the signal caller. The left-handed thrower will also have one of his top targets back in wideout Grant Larkin, along with tailback Jaden McGee. That's just 3 of 17 returners who hope to take the Cats to another deep postseason push.
We were young last year, and we had a lot of success last year going 10-2, but they were really hungry last year. This year, I hope we can stay with that same hunger and have great leadership out there.
Another promising season of success for Neuqua Valley begins Week 1 at Oswego.
Look out.
Now we go to Naperville Central, who is looking for another strong performance under second-year head coach Mike Ulrich. The Redhawks made it back to the playoffs for the first time since 2018 and advanced to the second round after a win over Naperville North. But following the departure of quarterback Owen Prussia and Northwestern-bound receiver Reggie Florima, the Red and White will look towards a different crop of playmakers. A pair of key returners are running back Tyler Dodd, who became the starter in the backfield in Week 2 of last year, along with powerful junior defensive end Maverick Oley. This year's passing attack is a battle between baseball pitcher Chris McCormack and junior Jack Cook, as one of those throwers will be making their first varsity start on August 26th when the Redhawks host Hinsdale Central to kick off the 2022 season. Let's go to Warrior Country with Waubonsie Valley, who is looking to bounce back after an up-and-down 3-6 campaign. One of the biggest bright spots for the Green and Gold is the return of quarterback Luke Elsey, who started 6 games last season for Dub V. Despite losing his go-to target Tyler Helbig and talented running back Antonio Torres, the Warriors will have an exciting new pass catcher in Julian Johnson, the brother of former Mattia Valley star Jalen Johnson. Julian transferred to Waubonsie after the District 204 boundary adjustment. Luke Elsey and his fellow captains Michael Popov, Breach Fowler, Tommy Moriarty, Mason Regenbach, and Dominic Guzman hope to bring the Warriors back to the postseason for the first time since 2018. The Warriors will have a tough schedule ahead of them as they get set to begin their 2022 season at Oswego East in Week 1. We go up Eola Road now to Mattia Valley, who is coming off a season where they had their most wins since 2016, including their first home and DVC wins since 2016. However, many key pieces will be missing for the Mustangs after the departures of 3-year starting quarterback Logan Frederick, pass catchers John Flynn and Jalen Johnson, linebacker Vince Ronsky, and standout offensive and defensive lineman Jake Pauline. Although this year's squad is excited to hit the gridiron, as senior Noah Larson will be taking the snaps for the Black and Gold. If the Mustangs want to continue to rack up more wins, it all starts on the road at Geneva in Week 1, where MV looks to bounce back after a tough 20-15 loss to the Vikings to begin last season. Finally, our last team is the Bennett Academy Red Wings, as they want to put last season behind them after missing the playoffs for the first time since 2011. BA came into Week 8 with a 4-3 record, but 2 straight losses to Joliet Catholic and Nazareth Academy ended their season 1 win shy of the postseason at 4-5. With 2021 in the rearview mirror, the Wings can now look ahead for new opportunities in 2022. Longtime head coach Pat New will return quarterback Anthony Picciolini, receiver Michael Lawler, and two-way standout Pierce Walsh, who committed to Minnesota over the summer to play key roles on the offense. John Weidenbach is back at linebacker to help Walsh anchor the defense. If the Wings want to return to the postseason, they will have to play through the daunting Chicago Catholic League ESCC. Bennett will start things off with 4 straight home games, with 2 of the contests at College of DuPage. That first game will be against an out-of-state opponent, Noblesville from the Hoosiers Crossroad Conference in Indiana. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Patrick Cotto.
Up next, we'll preview girls volleyball here on NSW.
Hypnotize your way to savings.
Breathing techniques to help you save.
Looking to make saving a habit?
Yeah, what's the secret?
No secret. Just open a savings account at BMO and we'll give you a cash reward for every month you save.
A cash reward?
Just for saving.
Mm-hmm. And when you open a checking account, we'll give you a $300 bonus to get your new savings habit started.
Love that.
What's your book?
How to get a $300 bonus and a monthly cash reward for saving with BMO?
He literally wrote the book on saving.
That's me on the cover.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
We move from the field to the courts. The Metea Valley Mustangs begin their state championship defense in 2022. Can they make it back to the top? Will other local schools like Bennett Academy and Naperville North be able to take the throne? I will be your tour guide through the girls volleyball preview. The Metea Valley Mustangs had an unforgettable season in 2021. I'm sure many of you know by now that they won the 4A state championship against Mother McCauley, which was the first IHSA state title in the history of Metea team sports. They also compiled a 40-2 record while going undefeated at 10-0 in the DVC. They also took home their first ever regional title and sectional titles. I'd say that will be a tough act to follow in 2022, especially having lost many of the players that helped the Mustangs achieve all that success, like graduates Reagan Homer and Morgan Rank, as well as Annabelle Troy, who moved to Colorado. However, they will be getting back All-American outside hitter Kira Hudson, who played a major role in Metea's impressive season and looks to have an even bigger one this year.
I think it's going to be just leading this team. I talked to her after last year, after all the celebration and stuff, and that that fun stuff was over. And I told her, I said, "This is your team now." I said, it's time for her to step up. And she's the first one to admit it. She's kind of an introvert type of person, and she's taken that role on and has done a fantastic job.
Brenda Raynaga and Camille Morrison are the other experienced returners for the Mustangs this fall. Despite the new-look team, Coach McDonald and his group still expect to make yet another run for the state trophy. As we've seen many times before, the Bennett Academy Red Wings were among the elite in the state of Illinois last season. They went 32-6 and had a 6-1 record in the ESCC. They once again showed why their program is such a powerhouse, winning a conference championship along with their 14th straight regional championship. They graduated 4 talented seniors in Reese Bastuga, Anne-Marie Remis, Sam Buckley, and Kaylin Abramick. However, Coach Brad Baker returns 13 members from last year's team with the likes of Annie Eschenbach, Caroline Cairns, Kirsten Kramer, and Ava Novak leading the way. The 2021 team was a youthful bunch, but with more experience coming into this year, the Red Wings hope to take that next step and possibly bring home state championship number 5 for the program. It was another solid 2021 campaign for the Naperville North Huskies. They were 26-10 with a record of 8-2 in the DVC. The team caught fire during the first month of the season, going on a 9-game winning streak. They finished second behind Metea in the conference standings and secured a spot in the regional final against Yorkville. However, they came up short in 3 sets. The Huskies lost a few key players in New Hampshire commit Kara Oxenknecht and 4-year starter Ashley Kushner. Although with 8 returning players including Natalie Corcoran, Paige Lauderwasser, Liz Rossi, and Ashley's younger sister Sydney, North is well equipped to make another run for the DVC crown and maybe more in 2022. Consistency was the Achilles heel of the Neuqua Valley Wildcats last season. They did prove to be a tough out in the DVC, going 6-4 in the conference. However, their overall record was 18-17, showing just how up and down the season was, and they finished by falling to Oswego East in the regional semifinal. The program will also have a new head coach leading the way following the retirement of Kelly Simon, who racked up over 420 wins for the Blue and Gold. The Wildcats lost 10 members from last year who were all seniors, which means they come into 2022 with just 4 returning players. However, 2 of those players were key contributors a year ago in Brianna Jones and Anja Kelly, who look to continue making strides in their senior years. Neuqua hopes to remain in the mix in the DVC. 2021 was a trying year for the Naperville Central Redhawks with a record of 13-23 and a 3-7 mark in the DVC. Their season ended in a regional semifinal loss to Plainfield Central. Even in a down year record-wise, there were still several bright spots. Kenzie Brower led the way and was reliable all season long. Sophia Zanka was the youngest player on the team last year as the lone sophomore, but she showed flashes of what her potential could be in the next few seasons. With Brower heading to UCLA to play beach volleyball, along with 10 other seniors leaving the program, it will be a much different squad this fall. Zanka and Nina Davis are the only varsity returnees, but 7 seniors are ready to step into the lineup and help the Redhawks fight their way back to the top of the conference standings. It's fair to say that last season was one to forget for the Waubonsie Valley Warriors. After winning a regional title and advancing to the sectional championship in 2019, the Green and Gold struggled to find the winning formula in 2021, going just 5-31 before being eliminated by Mattia Valley in the regional semifinal. More than half their roster has graduated, including Ava Orkfritz, who's off to the University of Missouri. Ashlyn Hickey, Catherine Godo, Megan Gomez, and Alex Skirka all return with valuable varsity experience. It will be interesting to see how the Warriors build the remainder of the roster as they look for better fortunes this fall. Now we go back onto the turf for boys soccer. We have plenty of talented teams going into this season, including Naperville North, with Gatorade Soccer Player of the Year Alex Barger returning for his senior year. Anthony Yench takes us around the pitch for a closer look at boys soccer.
We start off with the Bennett Academy Red Wings. After winning the 2A state championship in 2019, the team moved up to 3A for the 2021 season. The Red Wings finished in second place behind Niles Notre Dame in the East Suburban Catholic Soccer Conference with an 8-1 record. In the state series, the Red and Black proved they were ready for the jump up to 3A, winning a regional title before making their way to the sectional championship, eventually falling to Morton in penalty kicks. With players such as TJ McVeigh, John Kolb, and Daniel Pepping graduating, returning talent like Andy Nash, Evan Lucas, and Nick Rowe will play a pivotal role for the Red Wings' upcoming season. Next up is the Neuqua Valley Wildcats. The Blue and Yellow finished their 2021 campaign with an overall record of 8-10-1 and finished in third place in the DVC with a 3-2 record. The team made a statement for themselves in the state series after taking down 4th-seeded West Aurora and 5th-seeded Plainfield East, both by scores of 1-0 to win a regional championship. The season eventually ended with a 4-1 loss to 1-seeded Naperville North. Sophomore and soon-to-be junior Nick Verone led the way in net, with another soon-to-be junior, Justin Sinise, leading the line on the other half of the field. Despite losing players such as Jack Georgie and John Pockley, the Wildcats are going into the 2022 season on a high note. It's no secret that Jim Conrad's Naperville North squad has been one of the most successful programs for boys soccer in Illinois. Last season wasn't much different as the team dominated the pitch with a 21-6-2 record. They were also flawless in the DVC and won their 8th straight conference title. In the postseason, North also took home a 5th consecutive sectional plaque. Despite another strong season, the Huskies fell short of the state finals as they lost to Morton in the Super Sectionals by a score of 2-1. A big group of seniors such as Tyson Amu-Mensah, Patrick Horn, and Cam Radicke will be missed next season. Good news for the Blue and Orange is that Gatorade Soccer Player of the Year and Indiana University commit Alex Barger will be returning for his senior year. The Huskies are always ready to reload the next batch of talent, and with Barger leading the way, they are set to make another deep run this season.
The ultimate goal, right, is to make a long run in the postseason. So I think we've got a group of guys that are prepared and were at the Final Eight last year, so hopefully this year we can take another step or two towards the finals.
Our next team is Waubonsie Valley. The Warriors struggled in 2021, finishing with a 6-14-2 record and 5th place in the DVC, with their only conference win being against DeKalb. However, the 2021 season proved reasons for optimism for the Warriors this fall. Soon-to-be sophomore Lachlan Ladd was one of the team's standout players as a freshman, and he surely will have a big impact going forward. Other notable players that are making a return next season include Gene Scarpel, Yahir Rodriguez, Beckett Stotler, and Angel Gallegos. In previous seasons under head coach Jose Garcia, the Warriors program has taken major jumps in win totals following down years. The Green and Gold hope that 2022 will bring a similar step forward. Moving down Eola Road to Metea Valley, the Mustangs had a solid season last year, finishing 11-8-2 overall and a 3-2 record in the DVC. One of the most notable wins for the Mustangs was a 2-1 conference victory over Naperville Central. The Black and Yellow ended their season with a 5-1 loss to Oswego East in the regional finals. The Mustangs will be losing some of their key players such as goalie Oscar Mejia and midfielder Colin Bastianoni. Good news for the Mustangs is that more than half of the varsity roster from last year will be returning to the pitch this fall. Last but not least, we have Naperville Central, who had another strong season under longtime coach Troy Adams, as the Redhawks tallied a 15-8-1 record. Like Metea and Neuqua, the Redhawks finished 3-2 in the DVC. The Red and White cruised through the early stages of the state tournament, winning a regional title over East Aurora by a 6-1 score. They also beat Oswego East by a score of 3-2 in the sectional semifinals. In the sectional final, the Hawks played against crosstown rival Naperville North. Following a thrilling game, Central fell just short, losing 3-2 to the Huskies. The team has a good group returning, with the likes of Joey Loduca, Nathan Kwan, and Sean O'Reilly, all looking for continued success in 2022.
Coming up, we look at what's to come in golf here on NSW.
Local news is your lifeline. Let the Daily Herald help you navigate your world with solid reporting, good advice, and a much-needed diversion or two.
Stay in the know at home or on the go with NCTV 17 News Update. This quick recap of everything happening in and around town will be delivered straight to your email inbox for free. Sign up today.
We head to the courses for a preview of boys and girls golf, which is already underway this week. It should be another competitive season on the links this year. Joe Kennedy lets us know who to watch this fall.
We begin with the Bennett Academy Red Wings, who enter this season fresh off a regional championship last fall. Bennett will lose 2022 graduate Jack Detrani, who was the medalist at the West Chicago Regional and finished 35th as an individual at state. Ryan Farrago, Ryan Tracy, and Timothy Bear have graduated as well. The Wings do return a talented sophomore in Charlie Davenport, who shot the team's lowest score during this year's tryouts. Davenport is currently coming off 2 wins this summer, the first coming at Crest Creek Country Club in July, and then another victory in early August at Rich Harvest Farms. Ryan Danager is another key varsity returner back for his senior season. After winning their 4th DVC championship in the past 5 years, the Waubonsie Valley Warriors are once again poised for a run at the title. The Warriors picked up just 2 regular season wins last year, while also finishing 2nd at the Aurora City Tournament and 6th out of 27 teams at the Providence Catholic Invitational. Waubonsie Valley played its best golf to end the season with a DVC tournament win and 3rd place at regionals. They bring back perhaps one of the best high school golfers in the state in junior Salil Kanduja. Kanduja won a regional title and finished 12th at the IHSA state finals last fall. Also returning to the team that finished 7th at sectionals are fellow juniors Christopher Wagner and Arjan Iyengar. The lone senior varsity returnee this season is Charlie Liu. Over at Neuqua Valley, the Wildcats will try to advance to the state finals as a team for a second straight season. En route to the state meet last year, Neuqua picked up 8 wins and a couple different styles of competition, including a regional championship. The Wildcats will be without their top 3 scorers from their sectional third place finish in Alec Cross, Noah Martin, and Mason Dentzman, but do return a couple of experienced golfers. Junior Parth Vora and senior Kelvin Steger are among those that do return to a team that fell just short of a DVC championship in 2021. The Mustangs of Matea Valley come into the 2022 season after one of the best seasons in program history after sending a school record 3 golfers to state. However, they will be without 2 of those qualifiers in graduates Aman Shah and Arjun Vyas, as well as graduates Johnny Kearns and Elijah Oakes, who both were a part of the school's McGonigal and Aurora City championships. Returning for Matea are juniors Kyle Busher, who qualified for state in 2021, and Nick Schroeder, also returning is senior Patrick McGrath. Matea will look for revenge in the DVC this season as they finished the conference regular season with a perfect 5-0 record, but fell short at the conference tournament and placed 4th. Naperville Central will be without 4 key contributors that have graduated from NCHS, including veterans Harvey Wang and Andrew Mall. There might be some gaps to fill, but the Redhawks do return talented golfers in juniors Joey Cerny and Matthew Sims, as well as senior Dan Rabinovich. All 3 of them competed on the Redhawks sectional qualifying team last season. Head coach Barry Baldwin has plenty of experience in reloading a roster and building off a solid postseason run.
I think you definitely try to, especially with 3 players returning that were younger, that have been through the process. I think that helps. Now you're looking for that 4th score, and hopefully someone steps up and is able to take that role.
Some names to keep an eye out to round out the Redhawks roster include Kyle Close, Eric Lenz, and James Kavanaugh. Naperville North enters the fall with aspirations to make it to the sectional round for the first time as a team since 2019. Coming off a 4th place finish in the DVC, the Huskies will be without graduate Jackson Saganik, who was the lone member of the squad to compete in sectionals last year. Returning for North are the likes of Zach Wu, David Richardson, and Peter Christensen, hoping to push the blue and orange to the top of the conference. Naperville North will have a couple of home quad meets and duels this season, including their Scramble tournament, which will be played at the end of August at Crest Creek Country Club. To kick things off on the girls golf portion of the fall preview, we start with the Naperville Central Redhawks, who come into the season with a bunch of new faces on the varsity level. The Redhawks lose a whopping 7 golfers from the 2022 graduation class and return just 1 varsity team member in junior Isabella Guzman. Last year for Central, they competed at the Oswego East Regional, but was unable to advance as a team to sectionals. 2022 graduate Haley Hayes was able to qualify for sectionals as an individual, where she finished with a 92 and placed in the middle of the competition. This year, the new look Redhawks will try to make sectionals for the first time in 3 years. Across town, the Huskies of Naperville North will be without captains and 2021 graduates Ashani Ragam, as well as Ashlyn Bhatia, who is now playing at Lake Forest College. A program with a long track record of state qualifying success, this year's senior leadership will come from Sarah Sanick, Erica Lay, and Annie Whitwer. Head coach Greta Williams expands on how her senior captains impact the whole team.
They definitely have that competition within them. That's something you can't really coach. It's wanting and that desire and wanting to win and wanting to get better, and these girls definitely have it. And I think they've been such good leaders that they have been able to rub off on some of those younger girls that are now sophomores, and they see what it takes in order to be a varsity player.
The Huskies are coming off a regional appearance in 2021 where they finished 4th out of 10 teams, 1 spot out of team sectional qualification. They sent Bhatia, Ragam, Whitwer, and 2022 graduate Jaden Lodens to sectionals individually. For the Huskies to have success this season, Coach Williams says that consistency will be a must. Matea Valley enters the fall coming off their best season in school history. The Mustangs were able to post a 10-2 overall record, with 6 of those wins coming in DVC play. At the conference tournament, the Mustangs fell just short of the plaque, finishing in second place, but their season didn't end there. Matea finished second at regionals and gained some valuable experience at sectionals, where they ultimately finished 7th out of 12 teams. Some Mustangs to keep an eye on for this season include Abby Terada, Macy Martin, Pranvi Kakar, and McKenna Wigfield. For the 2021 DVC champs and state qualifiers, Neuqua Valley, the Wildcats bring back 3 top golfers from last fall. The trio includes Madison Coffey, Sophie Lagman, and Rebecca Wu. The Wildcats also will showcase 3 sophomores throughout the season in Evan Ashley, Carly Rogers, and Ruthie Martin. Despite the loss of one of the area's top golfers in Sarah Zhang, Neuqua returns perhaps the strongest team in the DVC and are in great position to win their 3rd straight DVC title and perhaps go back to state again in October. Last season was just the 2nd time in the last 20 years the Wildcats advanced to a state tournament as a team. Waubonsie Valley showcased a strong finish at the end of last season, picking up a couple of second-place finishes and a tie for 3rd at the conference tournament. Senior Lily Riley and junior Kelly Kong both were named to the all-conference team and eventually advanced to sectionals as individuals. This Warriors group has a lot of experience on the roster and brings back most of the key contributors from last fall. Riley, who was a major part of the 2020 Warriors sectional appearance, will be one of 3 seniors on the roster. She's joined by Anaya Patel and Sophie Angelidis. Last but not least are the Bennett Red Wings, who finished 3rd place in the East Suburban Catholic Conference last season. Notable returnees for the Red Wings are sophomores Audrey Wake and Kerrigan Riley, as the team will be younger than most years and have just 2 returning seniors on the roster, with Amelia Herta and Mary Kate Wickstrom. New to the program is junior Jenna Schultz, who put up 2 top 5 finishes during the summer. After missing out qualifying for state by just 6 strokes, the squad will try to build off their sectional appearance from 2021. Wake competed at state as an individual last year and will look to lead her team to qualification for the first time since 2016.
Let's jump in the pool and check out our preview for girls swimming and diving. The Naperville area always produces some of the top swimmers in the state. Alex Campbell tells us what teams will be making a splash in the water this year.
Bennett Academy Girls Swimming is always looking to make a splash, despite the challenge of not having their own pool to host practices and meets. The Red Wings lose state qualifier Maura Fitzgerald and talented seniors like Jackie Yap, Kaylee Marriott, and Carolyn Hicks. But second-year head coach Sue Welker is returning state qualifier in the 100 breaststroke Imogen Duffy, along with Lainey Devine, Caitlin Swanson, Caitlin Zarnowski, Simona Pesky, and Paige Malinowski. It's always a bit of a swim against the current for the black and red, with so much talent in the sectional, but a lot of potential for state qualifying times returns to the pool for the Red Wings in 2022. Unfortunately for Waubonsie Valley, the team loses its state qualifier in 2021 after Elle Filipiak made the cut in the 100-yard breaststroke in her senior season last fall. But there is reason for optimism, as many of the returning team members were able to gain valuable experience from the merciless DVC competition throughout the year. Versatile swimmers Avery Ball, Cassidy Bao, Madeline Zito, and Amahia Selman are all back for their senior seasons, as are sophomores Bella Plood and Ruby Meyer. WV will also have one of the top returning divers in the area in senior Nadia Favela. With so much tough competition in both the conference and the sectional, it will not be an easy climb to the top. But there are clear reasons for optimism for the green and gold this fall. Another Eola Road competitor looking to build on the 2021 season is Matea Valley. The Mustangs girls swimming and diving has always been one of the top programs in the school, and that tradition should continue this year. Mattia only qualified 4 total swimmers to the state meet a season ago. However, only Madeline Walbridge from the 200 medley relay will not be returning. Sarah Rush and Isabella Delgado are the other key losses from graduation. That leaves plenty of exciting talent coming back, including senior Haley Reifsnyder and junior Sarah Vokes and Emily Schelk. Sectional runner-up in the 50 freestyle, Allison Leslie, will return for her junior campaign, while 100 fly qualifier Amanda Schmidt will be another senior leader for the black and gold. The Final Valley School has developed into one of the premier programs not just in the area, but the entire state. The Equa Valley girls swimming and diving won back-to-back state championships in 2018 and 2019, and almost certainly would have made it a three-peat had the 2020 state meet not been canceled. The Wildcats had a ton of talent to replace last fall, leading to a bit of a step back in the state standings. Equa finished as the sectional runner-up and tied for 28th at the state meet. The team does lose some key seniors like Sophia Meng, Mackenzie Miller, Abigail Jensen, Callie Tuma, and state qualifying diver Peyton Orlow. Fortunately, there's also a solid amount of returning state caliber talent such as Emily Wu, Elizabeth Rosenberg, Kayla Brock, Megan Furiucci, and Ruhi Chitan. The NV program is strong enough that the expectation to contend for DVC, sectional, and state hardware will continue to carry on. Moving over to District 203 in Naperville Central, the Redhawks finished in 4th place at sectionals and 12th at state, led by the strength of the relay teams. Seniors Grace Mallinger and Morgan Sokol, who both qualified for state in 4 events, will certainly be missed. However, Lauren Collins, Sophia Hayes, Claire Schiffer, and Elizabeth Ghosh are all top-tier swimmers who will return. Reagan Fox will also help fill the void in the distance freestyle events. It would certainly be no surprise to see Naperville Central challenge for the conference crown and find themselves in the top 10 at state at the end of the 2022 season. We wrap up with the 2021 DuPage Valley Conference Girls Swimming and Diving Champions from Naperville North. In addition to the DVC crown, the Huskies also had the best team performance at state by ending the season in 11th place. The North 200 medley relay team finished 3rd at state with standout seniors Cameron Schmidt, Cambria Swanson, and Claire Jensen, and junior Amy Duhamel. It was a talented and senior-heavy roster last fall, as fellow state qualifiers Amanda Ng and Mia Sparacino have also graduated. There is good news for second-year head coach Connor Bitting. The Blue and Orange do bring back the aforementioned Duhamel, along with Clara Gilvitas and Lizzie Patterson, who were members of the state qualifying freestyle relay teams. Haley Swatland, Malika Putakam, Chloe Chen, Caroline Penlay, Callista Jansen, and Kelsey Wessel will all be names to watch this fall as the Huskies hope to bring home a 2nd straight DVC title.
Hypnotize your way to savings.
Breathing techniques to help you save.
Looking to make saving a habit?
Yeah, what's the secret?
No secret. Just open a savings account at BMO and we'll give you a cash reward for every month you save.
A cash reward?
Just for saving?
Mm-hmm. And when you open a checking account, we'll give you a $300 bonus to get your new savings habit started.
Love that.
What's your book?
How to get a $300 bonus and a monthly cash reward for saving with BMO.
He literally wrote the book on saving.
That's me on the cover.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
Moving to the tennis courts, Neuqua Valley is looking for a three-peat in the DVC. Can they get it done? Justin Cornwell takes a closer look at the hard courts in the girls' tennis preview.
We begin with one of the top tennis teams from last fall with a great chance to repeat as conference and sectional champions, Neuqua Valley. The Wildcats did lose their #1 doubles team of graduating seniors Abigail Allen and Emily Piao, who won the DVC and Lockport sectional doubles titles. However, Neuqua will likely still be the team to beat as the top 2 single players are back, with Emily Chow and Hannah Kestenberg returning for their senior campaigns. Tanisha Agarwal and Victoria Yin are also returning seniors, who will likely bump up to the top double spot after finishing as sectional runners-up last fall. That's a lot of talent ready to finish their careers on a high note for Coach Rose, and improve on a 12th place team finish at state last season. Our next team finished in 15th place at state and also won both conference and sectional team championship. Bennett Academy is always ready to challenge the state's top competition, and the Red Wings have another exciting squad rolling into the fall. BA will have to reload the doubles division after the graduation of decorated seniors Caitlin Lee and Felicity Kolb, as well as senior Claire Converse. ESCC Hall of Fame head coach Michael Hand likes to experiment with doubles and singles matchups to prepare for the postseason, and he will have plenty of talented options with Claire Lopatka, Meredith Converse, and Shane Delaney, all back as sophomores with state tournament experience now under their belts.
A lot of good experience coming back, and some excitement for the sophomores coming up. Hopefully build that as they go forward to a couple of years of experience for them.
Naperville Central only had one state qualifier in 2021, but oh, what an impact she made. As a freshman, Sophia Alaro burst onto the scene, winning the DVC and Bennett Academy sectional singles championships, before eventually making it all the way to the consolation semifinals at the state meet. Amy Patel and Kira Yang return for their junior seasons, while seniors Mira Patel and Gianna Chow round out the top doubles rotation. Head coach Alyssa Gergis will have her squad ready to challenge for the top of the DVC and raise that number of state qualifiers in 2022. Naperville North is another group that could see themselves challenging for the conference crown this season. The Huskies were buoyed by their outstanding doubles play last fall, led by the freshman duo of Brooke Kaufman and Gabby Lee, who won the Bennett sectional and earned all-state selections. Callie Genovese and Tiffany Chang also qualified for state, but have since been lost to graduation, as have the twin duos of Simran and Anaya Desai, and Kinjal and Kea Trivedi. So the doubles division will look very different for Coach Heather Henriksen. Ariana Pareca and Dira Pradipati served as the 1 and 2 singles players in 2021 for the Blue and Orange, with Pareca earning all conference honors. Having the pair back provides promise and stability for the Huskies heading into the season. Waubonsie Valley did not have any state qualifiers in 2021. However, the Warriors were able to lay a foundation for what will hopefully be a successful squad this year. Despite losing valuable depth to graduation, Phil Gallo, who enters his 40th season as head coach, brings back his top 2 singles players and top doubles teams. The Srinivasan twins, Annika and Isha, return for their junior seasons as a doubles duo, as do Shreya Kota and Sophia Peranto. After an all-conference special mention selection, Talia Ertas is back for her senior season, while number 2 singles player Risha Kapoor is back for her junior year. Following a 1-6 start to the year, the Warriors ended the regular season 9-9 as the young group found its footing. The combination of talent and experience could see the Warriors with one of their strongest seasons in several years in 2022. The Mustangs of Metea Valley are in a very similar spot to Waubonsie Valley. No state qualifiers a year ago, but the Black and Gold also bring back both their top singles and doubles performers. Sangeeta Siva and Serena Salim both started as singles players last fall before teaming up for doubles later in the season, eventually finishing in second at the DVC tournament. Meanwhile, Alicia Arya and Harsha Garagasani began as the one doubles pairing before ending the season as singles players. Meanwhile, Manasa Nikanti and Sophie Cahew also played singles before matching up as the number 2 doubles later in the year. That's just the nature of the high school tennis season, as head coach Cole Klausing works to find the best matchups to lead to success. The 2022 campaign should be an exciting one all across the area, with so many teams and athletes well positioned to make their marks on the hard court. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Justin Cornwell.
Last but not least, we bring you our preview for boys and girls cross country. Justin Cornwell lets us know which teams and runners have the best chance to end the year competing at Detweiler Park.
We begin the boys cross country portion of our fall preview with the defending DVC champion Waubonsie Valley. 2021 was a huge year for the Warriors, who took home their first conference plaque since 2004. The deep roster also finished as a regional runner-up behind seniors Ethan Marshall and Jacob Tucker, and Angel Solis, Andres Perez, Chris Miserandino, and Aiden Oster, who battled injuries throughout the year. Despite all the success from the aforementioned runners in recent seasons, they all need to be replaced. Key returners Zach Self and Gavin Ebenezer will look to keep Waubonsie at the top of the pack. Metea Valley transfer Alex Tremoloni is ready to contribute as well. Warriors head coach Kevin Rafferty knows the challenges that lie ahead.
You know, the top 7 kids were not where last year's top 7 kids were, but we look at where the growth over the course of the year is for those individual kids. We were significantly better individually than we were last year for those individual kids. And that's, we want to do apples to apples comparisons, not apples to oranges. This is a group of young men that one guy ran at sectionals last year, 2 of them ran at regionals, but we've had a really good spring, we've had a really good summer, we look really good. You know, are they going to catch last year's team? Probably not. Are they going to run better than they did last year and be more competitive than people think they are right now? Yeah, probably.
Moving on to one of the strongest running programs in the state for the past 20 years, Neuqua Valley. While last fall was not the most successful season the Wildcats have produced, they were still the lone area school to qualify for state as a team. There's a lot of potential for the blue and gold this fall, despite the loss of top runners Noah Shalio, Nick Rollwing, and Charlie Rook. Zach Close and Ryan Palmer will lead a group who gained valuable experience in 2021 with Logan Brown, Andres Lopez, Nicholas Castrione, Matthew Gutierrez, and Robert Glenn, all great options to round out the top 5. With legendary coach Paul Vandersteen still leading the way, it will be no surprise to see Neuqua Valley boys cross country once again competing for a trophy at state. Our next program has also produced very strong teams in recent years. That would be the Naperville North Huskies. The blue and orange was home to the area's lone all-state runner last fall in senior Gabe Bryan. Fellow seniors Harrison Belkey, Peter Harrison, and Chris King have also moved on due to graduation. That leaves returning varsity members Luke Donaldson, Gabe Russell, and Chris Corcoran to lead the way for a new pack of dogs in 2022. Naperville Central, the crosstown rivals of the Huskies, will also be featuring a mostly new-look varsity squad this season. Nicholas Keating and Owen Foster have graduated, along with Paul Villasenor. However, there is plenty of talent coming back in the likes of Luke Noren, Thomas Mask, and Luke Flessner. The Redhawks have a new head coach this season with former assistant Grant Begans now leading the program. He will be tasked with combining his experienced runners with some new standouts ready to make the leap onto varsity. Metea Valley did not have a season to write home about last fall, but it was a very young varsity roster. Despite losing Benjamin Lasma and Harishan Musanuri to graduation, the Mustangs should be returning 5 runners from 2021. In addition to top performers Nathan Baer and Ramiz Abrar, Austin Brown, Zach Johnson, and Rohan Aleti are also back. Even better news for the Black and Gold is that all 5 returnees will still be underclassmen, providing more chances for growth in future seasons as well. We conclude boys cross country with the 2021 ESCC champions from Bennett Academy. The Red Wings also qualified for sectionals as a team last fall. A trio of strong runners were lost to graduation in Dominic Ulmer, Sean Kingston, and Grant Ross. But this was a very young group a year ago, and hopes are high for BA with such a strong squad coming back. Charlie Phelan, Aiden Hewlett, Ryan Amidi, and Finn Richards all return, and just like Metea Valley, all will still be underclassmen. The boys from Bennett Academy are well equipped to bring home another ESCC crown and compete for an extended run in postseason races. The girls cross country fall preview takes off with the team bursting with potential in 2022, the Naperville Central Redhawks. After finishing in 6th place at state, the program's best finish since the early 90s, all 7 top varsity runners are back this fall. Leading the way is the talented trio of Liv Phillips, Kate Tooting, and Ava Hendren. Addison George, Julia Laird, Lola Satchery Morales, and Abby Mogg are also back, along with expectations that have never been higher.
You guys got this. You're gonna run great. On 3, 1, 2, 3.
Team! Up next is the team that has always set the gold standard for girls cross country in the area. Or maybe that should be called the blue and orange standard. Coach Dan Iverson's Naperville North program is ready for another state run this fall, despite some key losses. All-state runner Lucy Westlake and fellow senior Sophie Golubish both graduated, but the Huskies are always ready to reload. Emma Barris, Julie Pio, Annika Levisa, Logan Brennan, Marissa Magana, and Nora Hess are ready for the spotlight. It's not often that a 7th place finish at state is considered a down year, but after 4 consecutive state championships from 2016 through 2019, this North team is ready to get back to competing for state trophies in 2022. Let's shift over to the lone team representing the ESCC, Bennett Academy. The 2019 2A state champions had a lot of talent to replace last fall, as the team made the move up to Class 3A in 2021. The Red Wings are losing 2 more members of that 2019 championship roster after the graduation of Amelia Parisi and Mary Weber. This season, senior Louisa Diamond will serve as the unquestioned leader of the Red and Black. The ESCC runner-up, state qualifier, and lone remaining varsity performer from the championship team will get help from underclassmen like Grace Andringa, Delilah Hellenhaus, Anelia Gaudio, and Therese Tully. 2021 was only the 3rd season since 1993 that the Red Wings did not win the ESCC title, narrowly finishing in 2nd to Nazareth. The Red Wings are eager to soar back to the top of the conference and get back to state contender status this fall. Mattia Valley will certainly miss the dynamic duo of Sarah Maggio and Keely Bear as the 2022 season gets underway. The two helped the Mustangs to team sectional qualification and qualified for state as individuals in their final year wearing black and gold. Making matters more challenging, Elena Lehner and Alina Rachupkina, who both finished in the top 50 at regionals, have graduated as well. The Mattia coaching staff hopes to continue the development of promising returners Camilla Baker, Maya Hall, Zoe Kirkman, and Taylor Postis-Bell this fall. No local cross-country team, regardless of gender, was less experienced than the 2021 Waubonsie Valley girls cross-country runners. While that created some tough sledding a year ago, it also provides plenty of opportunity for major strides forward this season. Lily Bayback returns for her sophomore campaign after being the Warriors' lone state qualifier as a freshman. Waubonsie only lost 1 senior to graduation in Jackson Dowell. That means that Carmen Solis, Lindsay Matthews, Greta Salmon, and Iman Ali will be back with nowhere to go but up. Neuqua Valley rounds out this portion of the girls' cross-country preview as the Wildcats will try to turn around their fortunes on the trails this fall. Sectional qualifier Ashley Robinson and fellow graduates Alyssa Mead and Ava Valenti have all moved on, leaving a young returning core. Gretchen Leland is back for her senior season, while the other 3 varsity returnees are all sophomores. Maggie Kalish, Grace O'Malley, and American Ninja Warrior junior standout Sienna McEnany all gained valuable experience throughout their freshman years. For a program like Neuqua Valley, it would be no surprise to see a big leap from the returning runners combined with some promising new additions, leading to a push to the top of the DVC standings.
That's it for our fall sports preview show. We can't wait for what our local teams have in store for season 16. Next week, we'll show you the first full slate of prep sports action with golf, boys soccer, girls volleyball, and of course the return of Friday night football. Don't forget, we're always online. Check us out on our website for extended highlights and stories at nctv17.org. You can also find us on social media at nctv17 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Josiah Schuneman. Thanks for watching.